I interviewed someone once that was praying inside of a church, and then he heard a voice that told him to go buy a ticket. And shortly after that, he won. But the interesting thing is that he is not alone. There are many lottery winners who have had experiences, sometimes strange experiences, and then they hit the jackpot. And this type of thing even happened to me before I won the Powerball in 1999. I had a very vivid dream about it. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. In January of this year, a man in Frankfort, Kentucky told lottery officials that he had dreamt that he would win the lottery. Not just hoped, not just wished. He said he actually dreamed it. And shortly after the Mega Millions drawing in December, he went and scanned his tickets. The first one scored him $50, but soon after, he scanned another one that turned out to be worth a $1 million jackpot. But because the ticket had the built-in multiplier, the prize was actually doubled to $2 million. He later said the dream shocked him when it came true. He said he had been looking forward to winning one of these days, but he still wasn't expecting it to actually happen just like that. When he played, he apparently used numbers that had significance to him, using relatives' birthdays and numbers that just felt lucky. And he was only one number away of hitting the huge jackpot of $125 million, but he still scored an incredible $2 million prize. There was also a lottery winner in Australia who said that years earlier, he had a vivid dream where he actually saw the numbers. The dream stayed with him, and it was so real or inspiring to him that he played the same numbers over and over again for years. And then eventually he won on those very numbers, scoring $3.4 million. Afterward, he said that as strange as it sounds, the dream had been so vivid that he never forgot it. And that's where this next part gets pretty interesting, because people that are curious about intuition explore it in different ways. Some people are really into meditation. Some people are into prayer. Some people use dream journals. And some people even go to psychic readings. And that's why I'm excited to announce that Psychic Source is sponsoring this video. I tried one myself. Here is exactly what happened.
It does look like you do have something coming. This is going to be a sudden thing for you as well. It does look like it's significant enough that it changes a lot of things for you.
Now with Psychic Source, you can have readings by video, phone, or even text. And if you're not satisfied, your last paid reading is free. Right now, you can try up to 40 minutes for just $19.80. Just go to trypsychicssource.com/dreambig or click the link in the description. Now, this is an affiliate link, meaning that if you click on it and make any sort of purchase, this channel will receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. Now, whether you believe in something like this or not, what's very interesting is how people often describe these moments before something big happens. And sometimes it's not even a dream. It's a feeling, even if you almost ignore it. Just take a look at this recent story from Kentucky, where there's a woman named Pamela who said she had a strong premonition telling her to go buy a specific scratch ticket. So she had already won $200 from a previous scratch off, and she went back to the store again to buy more tickets. So she scratched them off late at night. The first three were losers. She threw them in the trash can, but then she realized, wait a minute, there's supposed to be 4 tickets. She was missing one of the tickets. She searched through the trash can and she found this other ticket that she hadn't scratched yet. She took it out of the trash, scratched it off. It was worth $80,000. And honestly, what makes this story so compelling is that she almost threw the whole ticket in the garbage. But sometimes there are other stories with people that have a hunch before it happens in real life, which are also intriguing. Just take Alton from Canada. I recently spoke with him on my podcast, and he won a $1 million tax-free prize from Lotto 649, which is amazing. But what stood out to me about his story was not just this incredible amount, it was the way that he described what he felt before it happened. He told me that he just knew that he was going to win.
I just said to myself, my inner voice, I finally did it, because I knew this moment was going to come. Part of the headline for the story was I was practicing for this moment for 32 years. I just knew I was going to do it.
And before it happened, he even told his wife that he was going to win the lottery, and she didn't believe him.
In 2022, I told my wife that I was going to win the lottery, and she blew me off. She didn't believe me, and I was saying to her, I really feel that is what was going to happen. And then, of course, when I won it, it was just, she was just really shocked by that, because I predicted that I was actually going to do it.
Stories like this really tend to get my attention, but this next one is even stranger. I also interviewed a woman named Tiffany, and although her win was smaller, the experience she described fits this exact pattern.
And so I just was sitting on my computer and I said, out loud, so I'm like, where should I go get my ticket? And then just like all of a sudden, I just had like this vision like in my mind of a store that I've been to, but I haven't been to the store like in like months. My intuition kicked in and was like, you're here for a reason, buy a ticket. And so I didn't even second guess it. I just looked up and I said, give me a number 3. And that ended up being the winning ticket.
But one of the most incredible stories that I have heard comes from a lottery winner in Mexico. But he was in a church and he was praying to God.
How I won the lottery back in the 2018, I went to church. Somebody told me I have to go to church. And then I started like praying, meditating, praying, talking about my problems in my head. And come up and I hear a voice, saying, buy the ticket. So clear and calm, the voice. And then I opened my eyes. I was not there, nobody in the church. And then I closed my eyes again and I hear the voice again, buy the ticket. And I get up from church and the first thing I did, I buy the ticket and I won the lottery.
And whether you think that's a coincidence or something else entirely, it's one of the most interesting and unusual before the win stories so far on this channel. But this type of thing happens all the time. It sounds like the stuff of movies. And that leads me to my own story. So I had this very vivid dream that I had already won the lottery 3 months before I won a Powerball jackpot in 1999. And it was so real that after the dream, I started playing more consistently. And I told people that I was going to win. I believed that I was going to win. And then it happened 3 months later. Is that just a coincidence, or is there something more to this? But let me know your thoughts. Comment below this video. And if you like this video, let YouTube's algorithm and me know by smashing the like button. I'm not here to encourage you to play the lottery, but if you do, always play responsibly. Never spend more than you can afford to lose, and have fun. Remember, dream big. Anything and everything is possible. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support.
And the big jump is if you can go from that 9th word to complete a 10th word, you get the jackpot, 750,000, $750,000. So I'm scratching it off. I see the U, I see the N, I see the D, I see the O, and then I let out a scream. I have my windows up in my car. Then I scream. Ah! I whip it out and I scan the ticket and it says, you're a winner, $750,000. Please file a claim. So at that moment, then the exhilaration, it's like an adrenaline rush. It just rushed through me and it's just kind of euphoric. You don't even know. It just hits you like a sledgehammer.
Did you ever think that you would win a jackpot like this before it happened?
Oh, absolutely.